Okay. 11. Opposed? Abstention?
He voted to.
Uh,
No, that's not good. You need
that 902.
902. Thank you. Let's move to the next item, which is the continuation of, well, let's see, any other elected officials here today? I don't see anyone else, so let's continue with the public comments.
I have another, last name is Tata also? First name is,
Yeah, I'm good.
okay?
Yeah.
Lucio Aguirre?
Yes. You still in public comment?
Yes.
Okay.
Move back to public comment.
Thank you, board, for giving me the opportunity to speak. And thank you for your time and devoting your time. It's important, especially thank you for the people that showed up. I'm also in opposition to the proposed construction of the school slash condo project on Eastern and Lombardy. We, as a neighborhood, organized, we did some research, and we summarized on a fact sheet that I will present to the president why we're opposed to this. Basically, there are a lot of negatives. The environmental impact report came back, and just to summarize or highlight a few of them, according to that report, this is something we didn't make up, this is stuff that we researched. There's going to be an adverse effect in our community. There's going to be an increase in air pollution. The gas emissions are going to go up dramatically. The traffic congestions will increase on Eastern Avenue, which is already busy, at the specific time of the rush hour when school is starting and when school is ending out. There will be a decrease in street parking for the residents. Noise pollution and light pollution. Another big problem is the infrastructure as it is cannot handle a development like this size. It was designed for a residence. This area is a low residential area. That's a beautiful thing. We want to keep it that way. We don't want to change the zoning from commercial, from residential to commercial. We like the vistas. This will mess up the vistas. And the fact that the builder is asking for variances, that doesn't make sense. There's no benefit to us. There are schools, you want to improve the schools, work with the infrastructure that's there. Find out what we can do to support them. Thank you.
Thank you. We hope that you join us tomorrow. Is this what was passed out?
This is practice that
Okay, so this is we will make sure that we scan and send this via email to all the board members so that they're aware of your concern. And we encourage everyone to attend the meeting tomorrow.
Veronica Martelo.
Maybe who's up there?
David H. Garcia. Not a public comment,
They're right here.
I'm teasing you.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Veronica Machado. I'm a resident of Sereno community. I live on Lombardy, and my concern is the traffic because of this project that's going to be coming to, hopefully it won't be coming to our neighborhood, which is the charter school and the unit complex. My
Garcia. Yoli Garcia. Followed by Luis Sanchez. Then followed by Patricia Juarez. Followed by Felix Hernandez.
Good evening, everybody. I am also resident of Sereno and of Lombardy, Lombardy, and I am also here to speak about the proposed project on the Sereno Lombardy. The reason why we have so many stakeholders here today, residents who are in opposition, making public comments, is because when this board, LA-32, was considering supporting this project, the outreach was not done. These residents have just learned about this public hearing that's taking place on Friday. So there has been a lack of outreach. And now that people are finding out about this project, the good thing is that construction hasn't started. And rezoning, we still have a public hearing, we still have a chance. But there was a lack of outreach done, and this board it appears that this board took a stand in support of this project. And I would like to know if we have minutes available of when the previous board approved to support this project. There's a letter saying that LA-32 supports this project. Mr. Daniels is here tonight. I don't know if you could clarify if that letter is valid without minutes from the previous board. And I'm making a verbal request for the minutes that prove that this board does indeed support this project, because there is a letter there saying that LA-32 supports it. I would like for this current board to take into consideration the lack of outreach and hear all the neighbors that are here today saying we are against this rezoning and reconsider. Okay, and so maybe you could follow up with that, Mr. Daniels, okay? And also, I would like to, for the record, I would like to point out that there is no deputy from Councilmember Huizar's office, and it's unfortunate, but I would just like for that to be noted because we need to have Councilmember Huizar's office here at every meeting.
Thank you. And, for those of you who are either new, to the board or to the meeting or have, just in time, or have, the same concern regarding the issue about the development project. I want to, for the record, and I want to duly state it on the minutes, that this current board is not the one that approved or had that letter sent out as an approval of the project. So by Ms. Garcia requesting the minutes and the information, we will see what board and at what point in time that request was approved, and the minutes should reflect that. This current board did not approve that project. So I just, for the record, just so that other folks don't ask us, to respond on something that some of us don't have the information about. Mr. Sanchez.
Can you raise your hand if you came here because of the Eastern and Lombardy project? Okay, so obviously there's a big community need for communication and for that to go on. My request is for the neighborhood council tonight to put on the agenda for next meeting that you're going to vote on this project. If you put it on the agenda for this during this meeting, then when we go to the hearing on Friday, we'll say the neighborhood council still wants us to look at this and take a position on it. That old position may not be the next position that they're going to take. Because the developer already has that letter, and they submitted it. It's online. You can see it. And so hopefully you guys can make a motion and place it on next agenda. I did some research that by just calling the two school board officers, and I found out that our schools are kind of overbuilt. We received in 2003 and 2005 $50 billion in school bonds, and many schools were built, and every single student in LA Unified is on a 9-month calendar. Only a couple are on year-round, and those schools will be completed, and everybody's going to be on a traditional calendar soon. In addition, with those schools that were built, they're super overbuilt, so there's empty classrooms. Where I work, there's a bunch of empty classrooms. Even though we got we got funds from the state for 12 extra teachers, our school got 12 extra teachers that we shouldn't have had, we still have empty classrooms. So if a charter school needs space, they can go to the empty space that are in the current schools right now. The school board member the office told me there's $660 million in school bonds they still haven't used. They haven't identified if there's a need for seats or for more schools to be built, so they haven't used it. What the superintendent recommended was in December, that $500 million, or $500 million that was supposed to go for schools be used to buy laptops. And the last meeting that happened just in July, or I'm sorry, in June, they advocated for $30 million of it to already be spent for that.
Thank you. Patricia Juarez, followed by Felix Hernandez, followed by Javier Estrada.
Hi, good evening. My name is Patricia Juarez. I'm a resident, parent, and also a teacher. And I am also here speaking against the proposed development at Eastern Ave. I know they're proposing a charter, and at this moment, I know that we've seen in the news that there is a charter school that's closed. The space available to fit there. I don't see why we can't construct a whole new development just to have one charter. Also, regardless of that, we may not even need a charter here. We have plenty of schools, like we were saying, that we have money to put into for food. So the solution isn't to build another school to bypass what we see are the problems and things that we have here. We need to focus on the schools in the area. Next, with respect to the 20-unit apartment or condo, that you're also proposing to build, I feel like that's just putting more pain in a space that is already really densely populated. I went around and I canvassed on one of the streets, and I was surprised at how many of the addresses had half and quarter, meaning that there's plenty of residents just in one address. I was surprised. And also with respect to the commercial space that you're planning on putting there. I know it's only a cafe at the moment, but with the rezoning, I don't know if that opens the space for them to put in more business. And just driving around the community, I see that there's business spaces that have to be, both on Eastern and on Huntington. And for me, if you'd like to do business, I feel more than happy to support those businesses on Huntington or on Harbor Road or places that are already mostly business. But I want our residential areas to remain in the road. I don't want to see any rezoning, and I just want to thank the council for hearing all of us speak, even though we're all saying the same thing. But I believe that there's space in numbers, and we represent not only the people that are sitting here, but our neighbors that live next to us, that for whatever reason, they are also against this development.
Thank you. Felix Hernandez, followed by Estrada, and George Cabral Jr.
You know, I wasn't even here tonight to make my public comment in regards to what, our neighbors and Sereno are going through right now. But I was a member of that neighborhood council and that everyone, came in with daughter, and they gave us the pitch of how that charter school is going to be built, and the entrance was going to be on Eastern, and, the coffee shop. And he also did mention that day that, those, condos that were going to be built up there were going to be for the teachers. If those teachers get fired from that charter school, are they still gonna be allowed to live there? That's number one. And number two is, the rezoning. How is that gonna affect these people? How is that gonna affect their home? You know, are they gonna have issues? And, another thing, one of these, young ladies are mentioning the blind spot on Eastern. That blind spot is, notorious. Very notorious, and that's where the entrance to that charter school is going to be, in front of the park on Eastern, just before you get to Lombardy. So that being a blind spot, with the history it has, I mean, if you imagine kids going in and out, families stopping in the park, I mean, that's a huge, incident waiting to happen, not once, twice, maybe 3, 4 times. The reason I'm here is because, the kids from the Sereno Park, the karate class, they've been waiting since 2011, 2012 fiscal year for that $5 million funding that was actually approved. They have not received that funding, and I'm here to urge you to please give them that money. As a taxpayer, I vote they give them that money. Thank you.
Estrada.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, board members of LA-32. I wish to thank Huizar's office staff, Jose Torres, Julio Torres, Julio Esperias, and Zene Leoria for giving our Estrada audience an opportunity to do this Mr. Frank Waddle, which is really an unsung hero from another district altogether. And see altogether. He comes to help you guys out, which is really good.
Thank you. George Capra Jr., followed by Tom Williams.
Good evening, everyone. My name is George Capra Jr. from the LA-32 Neighborhood Council Education Committee. I'd like to start off by thanking Ms. Tammy for remembering the firefighters, 19 firefighters that were killed last Monday in Sereno, Arizona. At that time, I want to also remind the community that we had a memorial tribute last Monday at the corner of Huntington and Eastern Avenue, and I was quite surprised for the leadership, the community leaders that we had here from the El Sereno Bicentennial Committee, the LA-32 Neighborhood Council, the Hillside Village Property Owners Association, and of course our newly elected honorary mayor, Aurora Perez. At that time, we had a wreath and donated. It was donated by Carlos and Cristina Garcia. They are local villagers here in El Sereno, and they donated a beautiful wreath, which was also in honor of CERT 47. And after the event, we went over to Fire Station 47 and presented the wreath over to Fire Station 47 and Captain and the crew. And finally, I just wanted to mention again, I'm also an advocate for the Alzheimer's Association. And this evening we have new literature on the Alzheimer's Association. I don't know if you're aware, within the next 10 years, Alzheimer's in our communities is going to increase by double. And right now, nationwide, we have 5 million people in our country with Alzheimer's. And of course, you know, my father passed away last year, April of last year, in complications of Alzheimer's. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Tom Williams, followed by Bill Watkins.
Wow, so many people. How long ago? Barrett Road, 30 years there. But today I was in Alhambra. Why? Because they celebrated closing the gap. But they don't even know where the gap is. And there's going to be about 100 people in Alhambra that are not going to be happy when they start closing the gap, if they ever do. There are alternatives. However, has anyone ever heard of the mobility element of the Los Angeles City Community Plan? One? By the way, they're going to have bus rapid transit down on Valley, but not on Huntington. So, strange. We have a lot of transportation issues. We have, Lombardy and Eastern. Terrible intersection. We've asked them to do a whole bunch of things. They haven't done it. There's also a matter, did they have a permit to demolish the house that was there before? Did they have a permit to do all of the filling of land that they've done? Because there's two roads. One goes this way, one goes that way. Over on this side, you can look back on Google Earth and see it before they started filling. Then they started filling. Is that a transportation issue? Yeah. Huntington Drive is a transportation issue. 710 Fremont is a transportation issue. Our mobility element is being prepared right now. But they didn't recognize Soto and Monterey Road. They didn't recognize Huntington Drive as being a good place for a major bus route. But who uses it? We do. Because I can get on the bus at Maycrest, get a seat, no problem. By the time we're down to Broadway, it's packed full, standing room only. So we have a lot of transportation issues.
Thank you.
That aren't being addressed.
Bill Watkins, followed by Utah.
Oh,
fireworks wise, which starts in late May.
Exactly.
Was the worst display of law breaking I've ever been around. I've never seen that before. Law breaking, disturbance of the peace, go on and on and on. It's an embarrassment. Someone who cares about the law, like myself. I will be trying out for the LAGD starting Saturday. Spurred on by this a little bit. I have a guard card already, and I'm interested in, well, to cut to something, because every group can do only certain things. And I'm not sure yet what this group can do, and what Monterey Federation can do, what City Council can do, all of these things. But I have a feeling that I would do well if I was to come here as often as I can, and by May of 2014, the agenda is fireworks, and we're talking about that a lot. That would be cool, and I'm going to be working from now until then for my dog's sake, who thinks the world's going to end when the fireworks go. He's a sweet boy. He's like a Christian boy dog. He's the sweetest pit bull you ever seen. He's in my arms shaking, and it's like, what are we doing? I'm 40 years old. My chest hurts when this happens. I get a little chest pain. So that's not fun when I hear those fireworks that set out Carl. I tipped police and got one seller thrown in jail this year. But that was just one little thing. 3800 Monterey Road is a problem. It's an apartment complex. We need to get a security guard over there. We can maybe pay for something like that. And I don't know how that happens, but I'm going to work on it and maybe continue to dedicate volunteer time for it. Let's do better. Thank you.
Thank you. Is this an item related to something else that you spoke about?
It's kind of combined to what they were talking about and what I was talking about and what Tom was talking about.
Well, for the sake of time, since you already had a chance, we're gonna move on with your agenda.
Okay, and this could be part of the
Okay, thank you. I would like to have, is here yet, Mrs. Ferias? Oh, okay. That was the conclusion of our public comment part.
All right, good evening, everyone. Good deputy for the office of Councilmember Huizar here in Sereno. Got here a little late. There was an actual Ascot Hills Park Advisory Board meeting, so I was actually over there talking about some good news we received earlier today. So Ascot Hills, there's some funds available, about $165,000 left over from Prop K funding from the previous cycle. So the PAD has elected to go ahead and use that and install a pavilion to be used sort of like an area where we can bring in students from schools and teach and educate about different workshops, nature, different trails that are in In this case, it's in the planning aspects of it. So as you all know, Friday, there's a planning hearing. So that hearing will be an opportunity for the community to give input, and they will be getting that input from the community. It seems like the community is against the project. So, like anything, council member believes in the community deciding the fate of projects, and Friday will have to be that opportunity for the community to go out and voice their opinions regarding the specific project. Well, we've talked to Farmdale, which is the owner and the company that's going to plans to develop this land, is to do outreach, continue doing outreach and engaging with different groups in the area. So Friday will be an opportunity to, again, for the planning commission to hear one of those issues. But Friday they will not make a determination whether or not the project will go through or not. From my understanding, sometime in August there'll be another hearing regarding this project. So, again, please, we've gotten calls, emails, please, keep on addressing how you feel about this project, whether you're against it or not. We're open to that.
One moment, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Fedias, was our understanding from some board members that the council member was in favor of the project before? Has that changed? Or
I wasn't here again. I've been here for 14 months. I wasn't part of those discussions beforehand, but currently as it stands, it's really been up to the process.
So perhaps you can find out for us. There will be a meeting tomorrow at Barrio Action, and maybe you can clarify that question for us, and that would be really appreciated. The other question that I have before Ms. McGuire goes on, my understanding is that he is the council member is now the chairperson for Plum.
Correct.
And if you can explain what Plum is to the board and to the audience.
So Plum is, if I'm not mistaken, we'll get it right. It's a planning, land use, and management committee which oversees a lot of, when it comes to planning, building and safety issues at the citywide level. So it's a very important and powerful committee that he will serve on. So in terms of zoning, coding, code enforcement, not just at the council district level, but at the citywide level, he will be an integral voice in terms of a lot of issues when it comes to zoning, planning, regulations, and whatnot.
So we as community members and stakeholders here regarding this issue can visit his committee throughout the next few months and voice our concern.
Yes.
And our like or dislike of this project at that appropriate time. And if you happen to know when the committees are held, that would be helpful.
Yeah,
So
I
we
could do
can
that.
send it out.
For the next meeting, I could have a calendar of the committees he serves on
Perfect.
and when those dates are and times. So again, City Hall and our office is always open.
And the last question is, my understanding is that on Poplar and Huntington Drive, the new project there is the 7-Eleven. Does that come before this board or to your office, or is that?
No, I think we just found out, again, not so long ago, our office and I just did as well about that being a 7-Eleven. So we're trying to investigate the process of so, but it's never come up. I think it has to do because it was already at some point zoned for a gas station and a store associated with.
Will it also be a gas station or just a 7-Eleven?
So it'll be a gas station, from what I understand. Car wash.
Okay, we're going to take some questions from the board. Mr. McGuire, Mr. Johnson, Mr. Pacheco,
Yeah.
in that order. Mr. McGuire?
I'm not making a value judgment here, Julio, at all, but I just want to be clear, Tim, because you asked my question. Is it your understanding that Jose, the councilman,
was in favor of that project on Lombardy and Eastern.
That was my understanding,
Okay,
yes.
fair enough, we'll leave it at that. Secondly, this project over here at Poplar and Stockbridge, or to Huntington, I've been in contact with Mr. Lee. In fact, he's gonna come before this board. I was hoping he would do that before. They were planning on having that done this quarter, in fact, this month, they're not. That is going to be a car wash,
Yeah.
a convenience store, and a 76 gas station.
No,
Wow.
So,
As I understand.
so that's it.
It's a 76
It's
level.
7-Eleven.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. See, that's the confusion.
Right.
You could get. So I'll have 76 or 7-Eleven, and then yes, it did get, permission that will be dropped. Yeah. And I don't know if there's any conditions with not, how long, so those are things that, you know, the community, allows, you know, to have input down the line.
Mr. Johnson, Mr. Pacheco?
Question. We have a lot of stakeholders here tonight regarding the Eastern Lombardy project.
Yes.
Councilman, who are the other two